In the longest consecutive championship streak in national high school sports history, Mount St. Charles Academy ruled over Rhode Island with 26 straight hockey titles from 1978 to 2003.
My junior and senior year were probably the two best chances we had to win it. And my junior year went to 3 games, and we lost in the 3rd game. I think we hit 4 posts in the 3rd period. Gosh Snow played tremendous. And then my senior year, we actually went to a 5-game series, which was unprecedented at the time. And it will never happen again because they made a rule after that series that after 3 games, if it was tied, that they would just end it and declare co-champs.
And I was a part of it too. I played at East Providence High School. I lost in the 81 and the 80 state finals to Mount, and the 79 and 81 state semifinals to Mount. So I was a part of that juggernaut.
In 2004, the Mounties would again play in the state's championship series. The challenger was Tollgate, under first-year head coach Will Parker, who took over after longtime head coach Mike Gaffney stepped down at the start of the season.
Definitely a change that we didn't see coming. We all expected Coach Gaffney to be back for the following year. We made the announcement, we were all pretty shocked, but at the same time, Coach Parker had been there all along, so we really kind of just kept it rolling. He preached a lot of the same things, so we just kind of took it in stride.
During the regular season, John Cavanagh, his cousin David, and the rest of the Tollgate Titans dropped 3 of 4 games to Mount St. Charles.
They're all really close games. I think we competed real well as a team. I think every game we played them, maybe with the exception of one of the games, could have gone either way. We always kind of knew we were right there.
Tollgate had been building for a long time. You forget the Gaffneys were there, Mike Gaffney's boys were there. They had some great teams at Tollgate. They, again, much like Hendricken, they just couldn't seem to get it done. So Tollgate was knocking on the door for a while.
We were pretty comfortable with how we played against them, and going into the playoffs, we knew where we stood, and we're pretty confident.
It was high intensity. Everyone was pretty anxious. We really stayed on them and kind of sent a message that we were here to win, to compete.
It was just a great battle. I mean, anything you'd expect for a series final. Every goal that we scored, they had an answer for. Every goal they scored, it was so back and forth. It was just a great game to be a part of, up and down, and Brad stood on his head that game too.
The one thing that you knew just from watching them play was the character and the leadership that they had. And both of them were big parts of that Tollgate run, and they were big parts of that team. John was the leading scorer. David was one of the leading scorers in the state as a defenseman.
Each time Tollgate took a 1-goal lead, Mount St. Charles would answer. But late in the game, John Cavanagh's hat-trick goal would win the game for the Titans.
I mean, it was nice to see everybody touch the puck. Again, you could probably call that play from the time it started developing to the time the puck went in the net. From Aldridge to Labella. Labella made a nice pass across the slot there, and it was a pretty easy one to put in, but it was nonetheless exciting.
Everyone on our team understood in Rhode Island it's a 3-game series, so after you play 1 game, there's still a lot of hockey left to be played, and especially in the state finals. I mean, Mount had lost handedly in the first game for many years, and so we knew just because we won 1 game it wasn't over, so there's really no complacency. I think that game was similar at first. It was kind of a dead heat the whole game. It was kind of, and anyone who had been around Mount for years had known they can score in bunches. So even though it was 0-0 halfway through the game or whatever it was, you always knew they could strike at any minute.
Well, I think after playing so well the night before, we really believed in ourselves. Going into it, I think every team says, yeah, we can do this, but we showed it so well the night before that we're really a team to contend with. So I think we had a little bit of confidence going in.
After the second period, we started to get the feeling that we were in control of the game. It's one of those plays that just happens. I don't think you can really draw it up. I think I actually made a mistake playing him. It was probably an odd man rush, and I came across the ice. I could have been probably easily beaten by 1 pass. I got kind of lucky, went down, and luckily made a good shot.
No one will ever forget Mount's streak of 26 straight hockey titles. But you have to think that everyone will remember the Titans.
Everyone played such a huge part in that game. Brad was certainly a great backbone for our team. So it was just a good way to finish it out, to really prove to everybody that we were a good team.
When the final buzzer came, all of a sudden it was just like, wow, you're kind of stunned and overcome with emotions. You've never really felt anything like that.
It was surreal in a lot of ways. I actually came to both games in the series, And I knew after the first night that they were going to do it. They had done something to Mount that no other team had really done. Win that first night, but win when the game was on the line, and it seemed to give Tollgate confidence.
Really great to see that David and John were such a part of it, and to see it finally come to an end. And down deep inside as a public school guy, I was really happy to see public school beat them.
I'm always reminded of it. Even today, I actually saw one of our professors who wears a Mount St. Charles Academy jacket, and it just makes me think of 6 years ago. It was just such a great time to be on the ice with my friends, all of which were my teammates for a number of years, and it's just a special time that I'll never forget.